I figured while I'm at it, I might as well show you how I feed my starter. Normally, I take what I have and I'll add usually 150 grams of water and 150 grams of flour. But I had somebody ask for starter, and I didn't use as much starter yesterday as I often do, so I'm gonna see what I actually have here first. I like to measure in grams. You can actually just eyeball it. You don't have to weigh anything, but that's how I prefer to do it, so that's what I'm gonna do. I plan on leaving my starter out on the counter this afternoon till later this evening, and once it's doubled, then I'm going to mix up some waffle batter to make waffles for my kids for breakfast. So normally what I do is I feed my starter and I'll leave it out for maybe an hour, and then I'll stick it in the fridge, and then it'll take like 2 days to double. Whereas right now it's going to sit out and double probably within like 4 to 6 hours. So I have 366 grams here. I don't really need to double it, but I think I will. So yeah, I'm gonna add 160 grams of water. And I always like to stir it up in between before adding the flour to just dissolve the starter in the water as much as I can. So normally, like, the amount of starter that I would have left would be a lot less than this. And then I would add about 150 grams of water and 150 grams of flour. But I think it'll be all right if I just feed it this amount. I don't want to have way too much starter, so it might just double quicker. I don't know, we'll see what happens. You can see how thick and gloopy starter is. It's always a very interesting consistency. All right, now I'm going to start adding my flour. I like to do anywhere from 1/4 to 1/3 of the flour whole wheat. So I'm going to start with my whole wheat, and I'm going to do, I'll do 50 grams of whole wheat. Okay, so that was 50 grams. And the rest I'm going to do white. So I'm going up to 160 grams. Actually, I ended up doing 170 grams of water, but we'll see how it looks. Okay, that's 165 grams of flour. Generally, my flour has been extra dry lately, it seems, so you want your starter to be pretty thick because the flour is food to feed all the beneficial yeasts and bacteria that's in here. It needs more flour. So you don't want it to be like really runny. You want it to be pretty thick. You wouldn't want it to like run through your fingers when if you were holding it in your hand. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to measure some out for my friend who's coming later to get some starter. And I'm going to give her enough to make that loaf of bread that I showed in the previous videos, plus an extra 50 grams or so for her to have some left over to feed when she's done baking. So I think I'm going to grab a spoon for this. So she needs 120 grams of starter for the recipe, and then I'll give her an extra 50. So somewhere around 170 grams is what I'm going to put in this jar here. There we go, 171. So the rest is going to go back in my jar, and I'll move my rubber band to wherever the level goes. And once it's doubled, maybe I'll even show you how to make waffles. I don't know. Why not? I got nothing better to do.